Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis,
and finally, Post Podium has come back to Friday.
Yes,
40 keys in the building.
I love it. Where you at, producer?
In the building.
Get it up high. Get it up high. Let them see it.
I got it.
There it is.
No, I ain't got it. I almost had it.
Oh, almost.
I saw my left hand slip. I was like, oh,
we
dang.
can see it on the screen.
I got rickets.
Oh my gosh.
I got a trigger finger.
Oh, FH was good. Alton was good. We in here, man.
Oh, that face was in Philly early.
So all right. I want to. Today's been a long day for me. But I did want to say something. We got attacked on Twitter. We got attacked on Twitter, and I'll just say this because to me, I think everything about what we try to bring to this field is about integrity. Take integrity, process integrity, all that kind of stuff, holding the team accountable. It's all about integrity, right? The way that we are here is the way that we are anywhere else. You can talk to anybody in our membership program, anybody that we deal with, personally, they'll tell you, who they are on the show is who they really are.
We're actually more fun in the Discord than we are here.
Yeah, for sure. But this attack that we I guess we incurred upon ourselves.
Oh, you talking about on X?
Yeah.
I gotta stop you there.
Okay.
There's no such thing as free publicity, dog.
No
such thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
This is the Facts and Feelings podcast, too.
Facts and Feelings. Yeah.
Folk like YK.
Yeah, exactly. So look, I think, and for those of you who wonder what we're talking about, you can just, after the show, you can go to our Twitter page, or you can do it during. It doesn't matter when you want to do it.
But keep the show on, though, because it's more important over here than anything else over there.
For sure. But very, very interesting things happen when people have it in their minds that they know more than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I think, if anything, people have seen me be wrong on this show about a few things. And what do I always say? I don't mind being wrong, because at the end of the day, I just want to get it right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to the research that we do and some of the hypotheses that we have, right? Those are the things that are usually kind of like, all right, that might be a little out there. We might be wrong. But if it's something that we've done the work on, that we found the numbers on, that we're presenting as look, we did the research, we did the work, this is what we found. We're not sitting here telling the whole world everybody else's perspective is wrong. We're just saying, look, this is what we found. Show us something else that says what you say louder. Yep. That's really all it is. And to her credit, I've said this consistently, and I'll continue to say it. Of the people that are really high on what the Bills have been doing, lately, because I know there's a lot of criticisms that we have of the Bills, but of the people that I've talked to and had multiple conversations with that like a lot of the stuff that the Bills are doing, Laura has been the only one that's been consistent in finding evidence and finding information and supporting her points with a level of rationality that's like, all right, I understand.
She's too nice, though. Key, I didn't want to say anything. Say it. Right. I don't want to hurt you. You're not hurting my feelings. Just talk. Right. We good. We all right. Trust me.
Right. And then it's not to down anybody else's opinion or perspective or anything like that. If I haven't talked to you, I just haven't talked to you yet.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
And that's the word. Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. I'm with it. But for most people that watch this show, they're about what we're about, which is if there's an issue, I'm gonna call it out. Like that's just what it is. You're not finna just duck and dodge and hide behind smoke and mirrors trying to get me to just be rah-rah for no reason.
Yeah, this is the show for debate. I mean, it really is. Like what people don't understand is, when you fire at us in comments, you fired us in Discord, you fired us on X, wherever you was fired, just give us something to learn too.
Yep.
Don't just say something and let it be surface level and you guys are crazy, you're clowns, you're wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Right.
What did you find? Where'd you see it at? That's what I want to know. Because like I said, I don't work for the Bills. You don't work for the Bills. We're fans just like you. Joe Marino's fans just like you. Everybody is fans just like you. So we're not better than you. I don't know what podcast you watch that makes you think that they are better than you, but nobody's better than you.
Right.
So when we talk, we just have mics. We have these things and this and some of this stuff here. But you have your phones, you have your laptops, you have your TV, whatever you're communicating with us on, and that's what you need to use.
That's it. So let's we got to get into this James Cook thing because we did not get a chance to just hop right on Twitter and YouTube and like other people got an opportunity to do that day. We our schedule is too crazy. So
before you do that, I hate to be the bearer of bad news again. We've lost another one.
Oh man,
we're bereaved. Arthur Wandelick. Okay, other people know him as Art Wander. This is a guy who was passed away on the 13th at the age of 97. He grew up in the Buffalo's East Side, and he skipped school to watch radio legends like Foster Brooks and Buffalo Bob Smith. Of course, this is before all of our times, but I'm going to do it anyway. He joined WKBW in 1956 and later hired Irv Weinstein. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Man.
All right. He had a national impact on New York City, Chicago, Boston, and Dallas markets. He met the Beatles and befriended their manager. So he's a big deal all over the place. Known as a tiny title to kilowatt and your private pope. He was never a pro athlete, but he had a passion for the Bills and New York Mets that fueled his fiery takes and loyal fan base. His notoriety was sparked by a public jab from Bill Polian. So it went all the way to the GM. So Brandon Bean, hit us up. He was inducted into the Buffalo Broadcaster Hall of Fame in 2008. His final moments were poetic. He passed to the playing of Frank Sinatra's My Way, wearing a Bills blanket and a Mets banner nearby. So rest in peace, Art Wander.
Okay, Art Wander.
Mm-hmm. He was on Empire Network. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he was on that.
Yes, I do. That's where Howard Simon came from.
Howard Simon was on there. Yep.
Wow.
Bob Kaczynski. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're telling our age right now.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Roy says you might not always be wrong, but you're still a clown.
I'll take that. I'll take it from you, Roy.
Yeah.
Roy's a neighborhood lovable troll.
Right. He I don't know how it happened, but it definitely happened in full effect. He slowly but surely became a spin-esque troll on this show. Good job for you, Roy.
He's showing up though, so I love him.
Right. So all right. So this James Cook deal. Look, I don't think he made what he deserves.
Okay.
But he got paid. Here's what I'll say about the deal as currently constructed. I want to say that this is probably now that we can see the details on Spotrac, this is a very team-friendly deal. Very team-friendly deal. And I'm actually shocked. And I think a lot of people, namely the people who were, trying to stomp on him saying you don't deserve 15, should be looking at this and saying he was a team guy the entire time. He just had a little bit higher of a number than the Bills were comfortable paying at that time. And what's crazy about this is we got the morning radio show talking about, James Cook won this battle, right? When you look at this deal, I'm not seeing a win in James Cook's favor, to be perfectly honest. And here's why. So this year, his cap hit was supposed to be $5 million. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be somewhere around 5.5, right?
5.7. Yep.
5.7. Okay. And so according to Spotrac, his cap hit this year dropped to $3.5 million. 3.5. Okay. Next year, that cap hit goes up to 5.8. So to be clear, This is the last year of his rookie contract.
Right.
The first year of his extension. Next year in 2026, the first year of that brand new $30 million guaranteed, $48 million over 4 years contract, his cap hit, $5.8 million. 5.8. His signing bonus is only $1.8 million that year. In fact, his signing proration is 1.8 every year of that extension. It's only his base salary that goes up, right? His cap hit from there on in 2027, when he's 28 years old, is $13 million. Then it goes up to 13.5, and then by the time he's 30, he'll be making $14.28 million. Oh, and you'll love this. He's got a voyage year in there for his year 31.
I know. That's how they made it happen. I mean, I think this was supposed to be a 4-year contract. A 3-year contract, but the Bills probably talked him into the 4. That might have been what it was. He didn't want a 4th year, maybe. Because I mean, the money, it looks weird, but it's the same money. It's spread out, and the Bills knew they had to do this for cap ramifications. They knew they could. Like I told you guys before, there's no more people to restructure. Yeah. There's nowhere else to go.
Yep.
So what do? You have to figure out how do I lower his cap so I can get eligible, get good.
There you go. Yep.
And then on the back end. So yeah, you're hampered for 1.4. So it actually is a very good deal for him, but it's a better deal for the Bills.
Exactly. So let's drop the whole James Cook won the deal and he, the diva talk and all that kind of stuff, because this extension for the Bills opened up $1.3 million. They are out of the hole. Like basically they got about $2 million out of this deal, a little over, because they were in the hole about $1 million, just under $1 million.
Yep.
So, I mean, kudos to James Cook for getting paid, and kudos for the Bills to, doing a good job of getting themselves out of a hole. But man, for what I wanted James Cook to experience in this deal, I wanted him to have the certainty that he was going to be the guy for the next 2 years at least. He doesn't have to be the guy, right? And we're talking about a player going into year 28 of his life before he sees anything over $10 million. Right now, we don't know what he's going to make, privately with endorsements and stuff like that. That may increase now that he's gotten the proverbial bag from the Buffalo Bills. But this deal to me screams from James Cook, I'm doing what it takes to be a part of this team because I love these guys and I want to win with this football team. He sees something here, right? And I respect it. I don't like how this was structured, though, because you're talking about a 48% snap share last year. What's to stop the Bills from doing the same thing? He's not making that much money. He's not making enough money to justify giving him more. By the time he gets to year 28, where's he going to be health-wise? You see what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of weird for me, right?
Yeah, I think like I said, I think he really wanted the 3-year 30 guarantee, and that's what he got. He wanted, he said 15 mil. That was we don't know what that really meant. We'll never know what he meant by that.
So he just didn't mind that was like the last 3 years of the deal.
Well, it's guaranteed. So it's he got a big check already, not the whole 30, but he basically got 15 for the first 2, and then the back end he doesn't really have anything but his base salary. So. Okay. It looks janky when you look at how it's broken down, but they have to do that for accounting purposes. He has the money, but that's why he looked like everybody said he looked big. He was crying. I told y'all he was crying. And then they released the whole video. He's like, yeah, I got my shades out,
Right.
Like, no, just take them off. Take them off. We know what's under there.
Right.
And you could tell what it was is it was screaming, what a lot of people call out, but for him, you can see it, generational wealth for him. I can finally take care of whatever it is I'm trying to take care of, even though I know you drive a Ferrari.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I have a Range Rover myself, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. But no, he I think he got, I don't know, I wish I knew what the holdup was. I wish I knew what the sticking point. I also don't feel like it was the money. I think it was probably the term. It might have been, the lay of the land. It might have been the incentives because he has, let's see what we have. He has a $340,000 annual per game bonus. He has $250,000 for a workout bonus. He has escalated up to $1 million based on playing time, which is the 48 you said. And the Bills have to make the playoffs. The void year in 2030, it looks ugly, but 1.4. It includes a $1.48 million option bonus that accelerates if not extended. So he would get more money on the back end if he does not get extended on the 2030 year. So there's kind of a little bit of, it's not a lot of pressure, but kind of a little bit of an incentive for him to stay. And they can make another contract for him where they can spread it out even more, so it looks even better. I think it was kind of it wasn't a prove it deal, but it was kind of I want to be here. And his contract really does prove that he wanted to be in Buffalo, because like you said, he could have got more. He could have got a different structure. But anybody, like you said, that calls him a diva, anybody who says anything bad about him at this point in time, you have to really call yourself what you are. And that's kind of a hater, because this contract is we talked about Benford, we talked about Rousseau, we talked about Bernard. This falls in line. It's just a little more than what what they did.
Yep. Shannara Birch, welcome to the show, says they will be back at the table in 2 years for a new deal.
Hopefully.
That is exactly the hope. And look, what that's gonna take though, and you're right, he got 15 million at signing, so he's set. Mm-hmm. Right. And that helps the Bills, because that's off the books, right? We already gave him that. We don't have to worry about the cap hit being over the cap with that. But if that's gonna happen though, do you think with the signing bonus and everything that they're doing, because again, my worry is the Bills are gonna still treat him like he's part of a rotation and kind of do a lot of the things that we've seen the Bills do with Ed Oliver, not really invest in what's needed to get him going. Same thing with Greg Rousseau. You're just going to stay at left end, and we're not going to move you. We're not going to do anything really to help you get more. You're just out there sink or swim.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. What I hope happens, and I was talking to Tommy about it last night. When you talk about third down, it's time to be creative. It's time to figure out how to get them master with a linebacker. It's time to think about, putting him out there with Ty Johnson, with Ray Davis, whoever the case may be, because obviously the defenses are going to use him as a decoy, or offense uses him as a decoy. I mean, because if you see James Cook back there, you see Josh Allen back there, you're like, what's going on? Who's getting the ball? One of those two is keeping the ball,
right?
But in all actuality, it could be Ray Davis, it could be Khalil Shakir, it could be Keon Coleman, or anybody. It unlocks the whole field when you have just those two people there. And that's why when people say, is the dime a dozen running back? Well, prove it. You got to, sure, Ray Davis could be James Cook if he proved to do what James Cook could do.
Right.
Sure, Ty Johnson could be that if you got to instill fear.
Yeah.
People want to talk about numbers. They want to talk about size. They want to talk about pass blocking. They want to talk about, the limited productivity, which is opposite of what it really is. Mm-hmm. Maximum productivity is what he really is. But it opens up so much stuff for the offense, and what we were talking about last night was it's up to Brady and company to be more creative and innovative and just roll their sleeves up and get busy with it. You're young, don't be old.
Right. Don't be old.
It's a
choice,
huh? Right. Yeah. At 36, 35, 36, you ain't old. You better get out there and figure it out.
That's true. Yeah. I think. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think if Ray Davis went off last Saturday that we'd be sitting here talking about a Cook deal?
I was going to say that as well. Ray Davis' performance on Saturday showed you what you needed in James Cook. That's tough to say because I don't know where they really were in their negotiation before that game took place, but he didn't help his cause. It didn't help at all, because if you look at the runs that Ray Davis had, there were a couple of opportunities that James Cook would hit that back cut and would hit that back hole. He would get going. But Ray Davis didn't see it, or he just didn't have the athleticism to get there. So he ended up running into a brick wall. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, David Edwards was a train wreck when it came to pulling. A train wreck, horrible.
Right.
So that doesn't help a lot. But at the same time, I think it became painfully obvious the difference between RB1 and RB2, or RB2/3, which is Ray Davis. I honestly think Ty Johnson's a better running back than Ray Davis right now.
No, I agree with that. He's definitely got more burst than you see from Ray Davis. Look, the thing with Ray Davis that I think gives him a spot on this team is he's got pretty quick feet, and he's got really good contact balance. I think those are the two things that really, earned him a spot on this team. His vision is pretty good. Right. It's not James Cook level, but he doesn't have the burst of a Ty Johnson either. He's more of that bruising back that the Bills wanted. They didn't want a 6'1", 250-pound guy. They're fine with a little bowling ball type of dude.
Right.
And look, I however you get that guy, fine, whatever. But again, I think when you're looking at what the Bills are going to need in key moments of big time games, you put Ray Davis out there to run the clock out. You don't put Ray Davis out there, at the goal line where the Bills were, against the Chiefs last year in the playoff game, to go score that 4th and 1. You don't put Ray Davis there. That's not his game. You know what I'm saying? If you want diversity, if you want, a malleability, you know what I'm saying? Those of you that don't know what malleability is, the ability to be, interchangeable between it. It's not a football term, but basically to be interchangeable, right? So for Cook to be able to be used as a receiver, or to be used as a runner, or to be used as a you know what I'm saying, like a blocker, or whatever. He can chip a guy and then cheat out. You know what I'm saying? Guy.
Right. He's a what do you call it? The
Swiss Army knife.
No, I was going to say something, but master of none, whatever the case, whatever that saying is. I don't remember the saying, but it's something. It's whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were saying Cook isn't on the level of Kamara as a running back.
No, I think Cook is dead. So here's the thing. Kamara's not as fast as Cook.
Well, this is even. I got this too. I pulled it up. James Cook in 3-ish years, 49 games. So Alvin Kamara is 115. James Cook has 533 rushing attempts to Kamara's 1,543. James Cook averages 4.9 a carry to Kamara's 4.4. He's on pace to, if he plays 115 games, on pace to beat Kamara by about 1,000 yards. Rushing touchdowns at this point in time, if he plays as many games as Kamara, he's going to have more touchdowns than Kamara. Kamara beats him obviously in pretty much every receiving category, but when you put in there running back, that's not jack of all trades, master of none. Thanks, Steve. But yeah, no, I think for the very simple fact that you're talking about running back, which is, like I said, we talk about quarterbacks. What do I always say? 50 rushing touchdowns. So he's a quarterback.
Right.
So, the rest of it is just add on. Exactly. Yeah. The rest of it is just added on. So, I mean, I hope that they use James Cook more in the passing game, but that's up to them. But for what he's asked to do, he's fine. And I think he's more productive.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's what I wanted to and I thought this was interesting, right? When you think about this deal and you think about how James Cook got it, how it came about, were they in talks the entire time? Yeah, maybe, but a player doesn't hold out like that or do a hold in or whatever unless there's breakdowns in those talks at any point in time, right? So we do know that there was at least a brief period of time over the summer where they really weren't talking. You know what I'm saying? They hadn't heard anything from James. James hadn't heard anything from the team. The Bills kind of, said where they were and James said where he was, and okay, Mexican standoff. You know what I'm saying? Who blinks first, right? But with this deal getting done now, I think this does something to the culture of the team that the Bills might not have intended. And that is the stars are getting paid, right? Josh Allen got his deal. Now James Cook got his deal. And it wasn't in an ignorant, belligerent way. James Cook didn't disrespect anybody. He didn't, disregard his teammates and hold out. He held in. He tried to be there as much as humanly possible to show support for the team and the franchise, to say, I want to be here, but there's this thing I got to get done first. Right. And I think every NFL player understands that the business comes first. No NFL player will tell you that, no, they don't want their teammate to get paid. Nobody, because at the end of the day, all of them want to get paid, and they would want the next guy to want them to get paid. So why would they behave that way towards James Cook? You know what I'm saying? Their day's going to come sometime soon, and hopefully they're in a situation to make that kind of money. So when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about this humble and hungry culture, right? I'm thinking about the way Cook executed his side of things. It wasn't belligerent. It wasn't ignorant. It wasn't, antagonistic or anything like that. He's very quiet for the most part about all of this. But I think the fact that he got a deal has to say to the rest of the players on the team, if you get out there and you do a lot with a little, the team is going to have to respect it. Mm-hmm. So the idea then has to become, how can I maximize the small opportunities that I get? Because I now have a chance to make myself valuable, even with the small snap share that I get as part of a rotation in the running back room, or as part of a rotation on the defensive line, or as part of a yearly rotation in the wide receiver room. Right. You know what I'm saying? I now have an opportunity where if I go out as a receiver and I put up, 14 touchdowns and, 11, let's say 1,200 yards. If I do 1,200 yards and 14, that's Steph Diggs numbers right there.
I love that they didn't put touchdowns in his contract incentives.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that it was 48% because he's hit 48% before. I think he did last year, 2023. And for me, if I was James Cook, I'd be like, let's keep it right about there. Let's keep it right about that 50%, right. Because I want to be in a rotation because I want to preserve myself. Like you said, for that last contract, I want to get my numbers. I still want to hit my, I mean, a lot of this stuff in here is easy to hit. You're talking about per, just don't get hurt. So you get the bonus for it's $20,000 per game. You get the workout bonus for $250,000 a year. I can do that easily. And there's really no performance incentives in there. So I'm going to laugh when he doesn't put up the 14, 15, 16, 20 touchdowns. Oh, it wasn't. That's not what they had. When you look at the contract tells you what they expect of the guy. Mm-hmm. What they're paying, that's compensated. I'm expecting to say everything above that is different. It wasn't the fumbles in there. It wasn't the drop passes. It wasn't, just many yards catching. It was, you got to participate. I need you to be healthy. And that's pretty much it. Just play. We had a backlog. Spin is trying to roll hard here.
What did he say?
Spin said Kamara's consistently around 1,500 yards total offense.
Is that your alarm clock?
Is it? Where's my phone? It is. Why is it going off? Jesus, Mary JoJo.
You're supposed to be taking a nap right about now.
You're right. That's what's supposed to happen. But no. Okay. So Roy, you're right. Kamara never got 1,000 yards rushing. He's the most he averaged was his rookie year, 6.1 yards attempt. He had 8 touchdowns. He settled in just about 4.4 yards a carry. Let's see, what else do I want to say? But yes, Spin, you're right. He was near 1,500 3 of his 8 years. So that would be 2017, 2018, and 2020. But outside of that, he's been right around 1,300 yards. So I mean, you're on the ball for coming off the hip with those numbers, but a little high, just a little bit high. And like somebody else said, he's all they have. So we are never going to see that because we have everybody eats. Right. So no, not work yet. I roll up.
So what I was trying to get to is I think for what the Bills try to propagate in terms of humble and hungry, come in here and do your 111th and all that kind of stuff. I think this deal kind of flies in the face of that, because when you're looking at what the whole, so let's just take everybody eats, right? Eventually the messaging of everybody eats is going to get really old when you're making $48 million. That's just the reality of it. Like let's just take a step back and think about this logically for a second. That's going to get very old when you're making that kind of money. Yeah. And I think what's been weird about it is during the drought, if we were paying a running back or we were paying any player this kind of money, we'd all be like, he better be on the field all the time.
What do you know?
What
are you talking about?
Right. Ain't no way I'm paying a running back this much money. He gonna be part of a rotation.
We ain't got a quarterback, right? We ain't got nobody.
Exactly.
Who's blocking? Yeah.
Right. So at that point, at that point, what the Bills have done under Sean McDermott is, we don't really care how much you make, Dawson Knox. You only get 2 catches a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
so there's been so much of an uproar for, from both sides, really. Don't pay James Cook 15. Okay, he didn't make 15. Now what?
Right.
You still want him to score touchdowns and be productive, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, they didn't put any, touchdown incentives in his contract. So really it's just go out there and get what you can.
Yeah.
But for these other young and up and coming guys who are seeing him get this money, it's going to be very hard for the Bills to justify the contract that they want to offer guys for the snap share that these guys are going to come in and get. Now, granted, while the Bills may not be putting, incentives in there that players can't hit, because that's the other side of this, you give them a deal, but what are their incentives going to look like? Are they going to feel like you're just, putting, ghost language in there that allows you to not let them really make as much as the contract says? But listen, every player that plays on an NFL team wants to be the greatest in whatever position and in the entire NFL. They want to be the best. That's why they made it that far, right? So to tell a guy like James Cook, yeah, we're going to give you the money you need for you to be financially secure for you and your family for decades to come, but you're still not going to get more than maybe 10 carries a game.
Right. Yeah.
That could be frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, the thing you got to look at here is what can you do with what you got? Like you said, how often they're going to be on the field and what are they going to do with the opportunities they get?
Yeah.
When we're talking about James Cook efficiency, despite fewer touches than some of the backs, he's third in the league in DVOA amongst RBs. And if you don't know what DVOA is, I don't either. So let me just tell you real quick. DVOA measures a team's efficiency by comparing success on every single play to the league's average based on the situation and opponent. DVOA is a method of evaluating teams, units, and players. So basically what that's saying is it's taking his numbers and comparing him to the rest of the team, the rest of the league, and their impact to their team. So if he's number 3 amongst running backs, that's pretty freaking high. Pretty freaking high. That just tells you that, 1, the Bills don't really have anybody else right now, and 2, they love to do a hell of a lot. And somebody asked, go for a little bit because you actually highlighted it. Yep, right there. So with the fewest attempts in the 2024 season, whilst getting 1,000 yards, do you think it's feasible to think Cook with around 250 to 300 carries type? Is it 250 to 300 carries type back? If so, is that a good thing? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't need him to be. I don't want him to be a 250 to 300 carries. Can he do it? Yeah, he's done it. But I don't need him to, because you have the other 2 guys there, and I think they need to insulate him with other guys. Yeah. If Ray Davis doesn't pan out, get somebody else that can fill in Ray Davis. Ty Johnson's got 2 years. Get somebody else that can do what he does. I don't need anybody to replace James Cook. He's going to get off with whatever he gets. And I think the Bills know that, and that's why they put in the contract, and that's why he put the pen and paper.
Right.
There's no incentive for touchdowns, so he doesn't have to say, "Why am I not on the field when this happens?" Or y'all trying to sandbag me. There's none of that in the contract.
Right.
Unless they just healthy scratch him, and why the hell would you do that to your RB1?
Yeah. If you go back and look at the numbers, the Bills really aren't the type of team to really give out 300 carries
at all.
You know what I'm saying? They'll have an occasional game here and there where they go run heavy because they just know they can dominate a team in that fashion. But this has still traditionally been a passing team since 2000, really. And unfortunately, as much as Sean McDermott wants this team to kind of transition into a heavy run team, there's too many good quarterbacks in the AFC to really do that. Unless you have the kind of stalwart defense like, Cleveland has, or like the Steelers have, where you can really shut guys down and shorten a game and just run the clock out on these guys after you score 2 touchdowns,
right?
And play that kind of game. But I think the Bills have shown consistently they schematically they don't prioritize that on defense. Right. They don't prioritize shutting a team down. You know what I mean? They'll let you move and get close. They'll let you get into the red zone and then they kind of trap you there. Take your field goal. We'll take touchdowns, all day long. Yep. So I don't think we'll ever really see 300 carries until Josh Allen is probably not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because until that point, it's going to be everybody eats. And I wanted to make this point today too. I think there's been a lot of back and forth that we've had with people over the Bills' weapons, right? And this is something that kind of came up in my mind regarding Steph Diggs and that whole situation, right? The thought is, hasn't Josh kind of always been doing everybody eats since 2019? I mean, we talked a little bit about this in the Discord chat this morning, but when we were talking about it in the Discord chat, it was Pat Mahomes came into the league with better weapons. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I used to say the same exact thing. But once like after all the research and information that we've gathered and stuff like that, I realized, and this is why I didn't ask you, because I know you a college head and you gonna know all of these players. So I didn't even ask you, if you knew any of these guys. But realistically, how many of us knew about Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce before Mahomes started throwing for 5,000 yards? I don't think anybody really did, unless they're Keyshawn or somebody like Keyshawn.
And if you did, what college did Travis Kelce go? Hurry up! What college? Hurry now! Because what's messed up is in the Discord, the only thing I think I said this morning was the receiver I was watching. Marty Gilliard. That's a hint. Do you know who that is? Marty Gilliard. Do you or not?
I think roughly, I have a vague idea of who Marty Gilliard is.
Only reason you know that is because I downloaded the draft class and I made him go to the Bills. I made sure I drafted him.
I believe you did, and I remember that correct. I remember you texting me about the kid too.
Yep. But it didn't work out. Oh well.
right. But so I guess my point is, if you look at what Josh has had the entire time, we were begging and crying for a number one receiver after 2019. We saw what it looked like with Duke Williams and Robert Foster and all these players going up against the Houston Texans at that point in time when they had DeAndre Hopkins. And we saw how manageable it was for Watson to kind of come back and make plays because he had a superstar at receiver out there making plays for him. Mm-hmm. And I think we wanted to see our quarterback take that next level step with a superstar receiver. And we got it. We got it with Diggs, right? Now, here's where I think the distortion in our perception came in, right? When you look at what the Buffalo Bills had around Steph Diggs, when it was really humming and when it was really working, especially 2020, we had what? We had Cole Beasley. We had Diggs and John Brown, right? Now, Cole Bishop at the time stepped into the shoes of best slot receiver in the game.
Beasley.
Who did I say?
Bishop.
I'm sorry.
He ain't stepping in no shoes.
No, he's not. No, he is not. Beasley stepped into the shoes of best slot receiver in the game at that point, right? Especially running with Josh. You add on to that a real number one receiver in Steph Diggs, you've got a really good 1-2 punch there. And I think that's how the Bills ended up with such a good offense that year, is that nobody could deal with the slot routes that Beasley was running. Nobody could deal with his skill set, and then also at the same time still covered Diggs one-on-one. Right? If you bracket him, that safety is leaving Beasley open to beat, whatever slot corner was going to try to cover him, or whatever, linebacker was going to try to run zone near him. Like, he just destroyed all of that.
I felt bad for those guys.
It was ugly.
It was real ugly.
Right? But then here's what happened, right? COVID happened, and Beasley was no longer on the team, and we replaced Beasley with Gabe Davis. Right? There was no other dominant player on the team aside from Diggs at that point on the offense. And where I think the distortion in our perception came was we had this mindset that any number one receiver in the league is going to perform like DeAndre Hopkins, or who was another big time guy at the time. Devontae Adams, you could say, was big at that time because he was in like year 3 where he really exploded. if I'm not mistaken. Damn, you got me.
I gotta renege on that though.
No, you don't.
I'd have to.
No, you don't. Keep going.
I mean, yeah, keep going.
Okay. We'll be here all day debating that one, right?
I don't, whatever.
So anyway, so we get to this place where Beasley's out the door. It's just Steph Diggs here by himself, and we're expecting the same. We're expecting Steph Diggs to bring about the same production as some of these receivers that were, in a lot of ways, schemed open. Right? If you look at a lot of the routes that DeAndre Hopkins was running, there was a lot of things happening around him to open up space for him. Right? It wasn't just you stay on the outside there and just beat your man one-on-one. Right? And the other part of this is, by the time Beasley was gone, Diggs was, if I'm not mistaken, past his prime. He was 28, 29 at that point in time. Right? Like once a player hits 28, 29 around that range, like that is downhill from there. It's, you know what I'm saying? He might be able to have a level of consistency and still be good, but it is technically downhill from there, right? We've seen that time and time again, that's proven. But what I want everybody to kind of understand is when we complained about Josh not having enough weapons and Steph Diggs was here, we had another team in Cincinnati piling up with draft picks. They already had Tyler Boyd, who caught the pass that helped us get to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, right? They go out and they draft T. Higgins. Mm-hmm. Now they got a real 1-2 punch because Tyler Boyd was a dominant slot receiver at that point in time. Not better than Beasley, but he was good, right? Then they get Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow comes in, starts throwing the ball all over the yard. Right? Then he gets hurt. Then they suck for a season. And then they go out and they draft Jamar Chase. Now they got 2 number 1 receivers. Right? They didn't stop with, oh, we got a really good slot receiver and a good number 1. No, they piled it up. Mm-hmm. They piled it up. Right? Players we love leave here and end up at home with us watching BP. Yeah, Levi Wallace. Whoops. Whoops. Sorry. And
he is subscribed. No, he's not.
My point is this everybody eats thing is nice, but you need dominant players that make it go. And I think it makes perfect sense that the next year that we made it to an AFC championship game was the arrival of James Cook as a dominant force on our team. Because the last time we made it to an AFC championship game was the first year or the arrival of a dominant force in Steph Diggs. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I like that you bring that up because when you're talking about, and I think people may not understand what you mean when you said that Gabe Davis replaced Cole Beasley. I think it's more the responsibility, the target share, things like that. He was already here. Yeah. So we know he was already here. But you know, when you put him on the field full time, what happened? He fell off. When he was swapping in and out with whoever it was it Emmanuel Sanders or was it John Brown? I can't remember. But he was swapping. He was like, oh, Mr. Tota, I used to call him out. Stu, he might be all right.
Right.
And then he gets out there as a number 2 and he ain't all right. Right. So, you know, it's everybody eats, especially like that what do you call it, platoon. They platoon somebody and you're comfortable in your sets and this and third. So in that regard, everybody was eating still, you know. Beasley had 100 plus targets or whatever the case it was and 80 receptions or whatever it was. And Diggs over going for 200 receptions and 6,000 yards and telling everybody they're little and this, that, and third. But even then, everybody was still eating. Like you said, it wasn't just a one person thing because Josh Allen wanted somebody to look at Diggs because I know Beasley's there. I want somebody to look at Beasley because I know Diggs is there.
Yep.
You know, and that's the opposite. That's the everybody eats that we like. And I think that's what people don't remember, don't want to think about. They don't want to think about, you know, like you said, everybody eats doesn't have to mean a lot of mediocre guys. I'm not saying these guys are mediocre. I'm just saying it doesn't mean that it has to be that way.
Right.
Everybody eats with as many stars as you can get.
Right.
And I think when me and Tommy were talking yesterday, I said something. I was like, you know, we got Josh, and then who else? You know, we draft. Who else?
Yep.
Nobody to show for it, and he didn't answer the question, which is fine. But you know, but the thing is, when I say you take Josh out, it's not a what if. I'm not asking what the record would be without him. I'm asking who else is there. And if you didn't have James Cook, who else is there? You know, you Khalil Shakir, is that your number one? Are you good with him with anybody? How good would he be with no James Cook? How good Khalil with Keon Coleman be without Khalil Shakir? How good would, and it's a big trickle down effect.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're saying everybody eats, when you're saying this person's good at this, that, and third, you got to say, okay, you take that variable away. How good are they really? Because it could be one or two people making everybody look better.
Yeah.
And when you play with Josh Allen or with everybody eats in 2019 or 20 with Diggs, Beasley, John Brown, and whoever, you got to think about it. How bad would that offense have been if Trubisky would have been in there, like how he played on Saturday?
Right.
You know, and that's the difference. If Trubisky plays with this wide receiving core now, with this line now, it's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be bad because you don't have the talent you had back then, but everybody was still eating, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part that people have to really think about when they make statements about, you know, it's just as good or we can do it. It's not.
Right.
And even if you can, why do you want to depend on one person to do everything? You're one dimensional at that point.
Right. Right. One of the other things I want people to consider too, regarding the Keon Coleman thing. Thank you, Bones. He says I'm higher on Keon than most. I think I am too. Roy says most are higher on the coincidence that those two comments are right up under each other. Most people are higher on Keon than me. Real quick, let me get this one out. Steve says, hold up. We piled up too. Look at the average player. Oh my God. Look at the average players we have stacked with $9 million contracts, and we roster and fail since Bean and McDermott draft playmakers, ... whatever.
Yep.
So this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? So let's think back to the playoff game against the Houston Texans. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Williams got like 10 targets or something like that game, like an outrageous amount of targets.
Yes, he did.
Right. That team also had Robert Foster on it, did it not?
Yep.
So those were our two, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, those were our two receivers in that game, was Duke Williams and Robert Foster. I don't remember who else we had. But I think the fact that Duke Williams got 10 targets, and the targets that he got were catchable targets, right? He didn't have to, go all the way out of his way to make, acrobatic catches or nothing like that. They were sideline catches that a big receiver should be able to make. His hands just weren't good enough.
He worked hard that game.
Right. So here's my point. And I think this is a very interesting point when you relate that to Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
If Duke Williams can get open enough 10 times in a game to get 10 targets, can we not scheme things open for Keon Coleman to get open 5 times a game, or get him 5 good targets for him to make some plays in this everybody eats offense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the matchup week to week should really dictate who you use. And I think that that's the way the Bills are trying to use this everybody eats concept. But you also, at the same time of building this everybody eats culture, need to be establishing your players as a dominant figure in the game. Otherwise, teams are not going to respect anybody. And if they don't respect anybody, guess who they're going to go after? Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be on his back the entire time. And I'll give you a prime example of what that looks like. The Ravens game. That's what it looks like when nobody respects your weapons and they come after your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. And I don't want to see that during the regular season. I don't want to see that at any point. I don't want that for Josh. I don't want that for the Bills team in general. Yeah. What I want is, like you said, you got a bunch of guys that can make plays, and now we do everybody eats with all of them. Mm-hmm. Let Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Jermaine Burton now be humble and hungry on the field, right? Like everybody knows who the top dog is there. They know it's Jamar Chase, but everybody gonna get their chances. Everybody gonna get touchdowns. Everybody gonna get a chance to eat. Right. That's a model of everybody eats that can win a Super Bowl, mm-hmm. right? Because last year's team, while we should have beaten the Chiefs, I think a lot of us were watching that Super Bowl like, we might be able to keep it close. Right. Like I was wondering, like I thought we would do a way better job against the Eagles than the Chiefs did.
Yeah, I think Jackson said Jack is an Eagles fan. He said we beat the Chiefs in the trenches and play action. Yeah, I mean that's how you do it. You guys manhandled them on both sides of the ball in the trenches. They had nothing for you. It was their finesse, and you guys are just like, come on, give me some more. And I have other news. Unfortunately, I think I agree with Spin for once in my life.
Oh, wow.
I need to be.
This should be good.
I need my head to be examined. But people just need to stop expecting Keon to be an alpha number 1 wide receiver. That's never the expectation drafting him.
Correct.
I agree.
Yeah.
Spin, that was your one time for the year, so don't ask again. But no, that was a good point. That really was a good point because it's about expectations.
Yep.
It's not his fault that they took him at the top of the second round.
Well, technically it is.
Why say that?
Because they traded out of the pick to get to that second round just to pick him.
But it's not his fault though.
Well, I thought you said it's not their fault.
No, it's not his fault. Keon Coleman.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I mean, people indict him for why isn't he not doing this? Why isn't he doing this? Why is he?
Yeah. No, it's not his fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't ask to be taken there.
No, I mean he would like to be taken a lot higher, but I would like to be drafted 5th overall, and I ain't played football in 16 years.
Right.
Come see me. I'm only 290 pounds and can't run anymore.
But you know what though, and this is what I think is the hard part for Keon Coleman is that he's getting a lot of flack and blowback, because of the standard that the Bills have set. Right? They got rid of Diggs, and I think everybody just assumed those targets got to go somewhere, and then the first guy that they bring in after that is Keon Coleman.
Yeah,
and then your GM goes and says he's going to be the X.
And what did Keon say when they asked him? I mean, they asked, why are you even asking this question? How do you fill in for Steph and Gabe that just left? He's like, I ain't Steph. I'm not Gabe. Didn't y'all listen? He told you right there. That's not my aim. I'm going to be me. Whatever me is in this league is what I'm going to be. I'm going to work hard and do whatever I can. But I don't know it. He's not doubting himself. But he's saying, I don't know where I am in this league. I don't know what they want me to do in his offense. But I know I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I love this comment here. Sean Kula says you don't have to be open to get a target. Nope. For some reason, I think that's the issue I have with the obsession over Keon Coleman being able to separate. Like, so what? we saw Alshon Jeffrey do it. We saw Devontae Adams do it so many times where he's barely open, but the ball is placed in such a way, and Josh can do that, right? If you give that man time, he can put it wherever it needs to be put, right? So, look, all of this I think is kind of funneling into this major point this year of who's going to be the next guy to step up, right? We've solidified Khalil Shakir. We've solidified James Cook as the go-to guys on this offense, right? I think Cook is probably a little bit ahead of Shakir in terms of, production and playmaking ability in crucial times. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen Khalil Shakir really step up in the Lions game. We saw the play he made the year before against the Pittsburgh Steelers, getting that touchdown on that crosser that he ran and juking the guy to, score the go ahead touchdown and really put the nail in the coffin there. But what we saw before with the Bills back in 2020, where they were just absolutely dominant, was they had 3 guys. Right? They had Diggs, they had Beasley. They didn't have a running back,
right?
But they had Dawson Knox that would give you those two big plays during the game. You throw to him, deep, or you throw it and he stiff arms somebody's face right into the grass, and it just creates this aura for the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to get juiced up watching that dude. He honestly, my hope.
You used to get what?
You're so late. It's just so late.
Like what? I said juiced up.
No, you said something, but it's over.
I said something different.
Yeah, it's over though. You said juiced up, but it's something else, and I'm not going because he late. All I heard was this. That's all I heard.
He's fumbling with it to try to catch me.
So guys, are you guys ready to rage? You want to see rage? You ready? Yes. Okay.
No, wait,
you do realize this camera wasn't on White Sockers, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I know. I wasn't saying anything, but that's all I heard from you.
Yeah.
Now we see your face. It's a face with.
All right, what am I about to rage about?
I can't with these two, man.
Watched McDermott presser today, and he was asked about the strength of the defense. First thing he said was that the receiver.
Yes, Spin, I beat you to it. It's about to happen. Core meltdown in 3, 2, 1.
You got to be kidding me, bro.
I didn't hear it. I really
you got to be effing kidding me, bro. You want the receivers to why even have linemen? Why even pay Deion Dawkins? You know, screw it all. We got 7 receivers in the building right now. Every last one of their ass need to get over on the offensive line and block. Forget all of that. You just signed James Cook to $48 million. Get his behind up on the offensive line and block.
But he can't block.
Right. Just forget every offensive lineman we have. The receivers need to block. Why? Why is it so important for these dudes to block? Who gives a... Whoa.
Yes, thanks, Lynn.
Yo,
that was excellent.
I cannot stand. I get it. When you have a receiver playing physical and being involved in the run game, if a running back needs to go in that direction, cool. But what do we see most of the time anyway? In game, these receivers get beat around the block and that person gets to the running back. Even when they do block and they're approved to be on the field because they can block, they're still not great at it.
Right.
That's not a huge part of a receiver's game. And there is not one receiver that is aspiring to be a number 1 or aspiring to put up the kind of numbers that gets him generational wealth out here truly trying to become the best blocker of all wide receivers.
All right, Lynn, settle down. We've already done it. We've got it. Settle down.
Yeah, and that's the other part of this too. That's the other part of this. So for your head coach to get a question about the defense and then say immediately after that say the receivers need to get better at blocking, he's putting that out there on purpose.
I feel like Ocho Cinco right now. I'm laughing. I'm quiet, laughing so hard.
I don't understand this.
This man turned to Stephen A in 2 seconds.
He does.
Again, anybody listening right now, this is not hatred of the team. This is hatred of the idiosyncrasies that do not make sense towards winning a Super Bowl.
I thought the show was being too positive, so I had to put that up.
Yes, probably what it was. We hadn't said anything negative about the team. We need to get back to that.
Okay.
Right. But that's part of the madness. Think about it like this. What was so great about all of our blocking on those 6 QB sneaks that we didn't get?
Nothing. That's why you need more wide receivers.
Right. If the wide receivers are just blocked better on a QB sneak, we might have won that game.
Did you see what I put in Discord earlier?
No.
At the Bears practice, that's what McDermott. He probably was like, "We need that." When they had the defensive tackles running wide receiver drill.
Oh yeah,
he was like,
"Love that."
Yes. He's like, "I need that." He said after practice, "Wait, what are they doing? Oh, this is revolutionary." He's like, "Ben Johnson is a man. I need that."
I've said this. I said this Monday, and I'll say it again. Our head coach, when Luke Kuechly was drafted, was asked what he thinks of the rookie.
Right.
Looked at Kuechly in drills before his first practice. Watched Kuechly in drills and wondered to himself, "What's so great about this guy? He don't look good at all."
It was the curly hair.
He said he was worried.
Wait.
He said that.
What's his last name again?
Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly.
Kind of the last name is that, bro?
Kuechly?
Yes.
It's
That's
a
his
football.
name.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Hall of Famer's last name.
I mean, you got that, and you got Urlacher. You
never right. It's all kind of names.
Some names are just football names. You can't do nothing else.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just got to deal with it. This is what it is.
No, I'm not. For y'all, oh yeah, it's cool for y'all, but not me.
Right. See, there you go. Josh Allen also need to work on his blocking and tackling. Not elite.
He's good there,
He's
but
not,
he can't long snap though.
He can't.
You got to play teams, man. He's got to play teams.
Right. There's your point right there.
If anything, you need my punter.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
if
right.
he can't kick, he can't play quarterback.
Nope.
Not on my team.
It's practice squad.
Practice squad for Josh Allen all day long. Lindsay, what's going on? Says, she's talking to Lynn. All right, I'll leave that be. Snarl says, they already putting in Ravens game plan. Seen a vid of Henry running a hill with a giant chain tied to him, totally jacked, ready to rock.
That's normal for him. That's normal. He didn't even know he was working out.
Right.
He didn't even know.
That's just a warm-up.
That's a warm-up.
Right.
He's like, it's a chain on me?
Exactly. So I mean, look, there are things that lead directly to winning Super Bowls, and there are things that are more designed around the culture you're trying to build.
Yeah.
And receivers blocking is one of those culture building things. And really all that boils down to is they just want every player that's on the field being active and being involved and doing their part to try to make the play work. They don't want any receiver that's on the field thinking in their head, oh, it's a run play, I ain't got to do much.
Right.
I'll just get in front of the guy because I know the run is not coming my way. So I'll just kind of get in front of the guy and then let him go after a second.
Yeah, I can say behind Knox and Kincaid, yeah, I'm saying it. We don't have a 12.
No, not at all.
Did you watch all 22?
I did not.
That's why I wasn't in Discord, because it took me 5 hours to watch that earlier. Because I watched it on half speed.
Wow.
So I watched it on half speed, and I watched, like, they sort of side view.
Yeah.
I watched I watched the coverage. Then when they show the behind quarterback or behind, I watched the way the line plays. They stunt, they twist, and I do have a lot of notes on it. So I'll tell you what I found there towards the end of the show. But yeah, I think blocking as a whole needs some revamping. Behind. No, I'm not going to say behind, because there's just certain things that certain people can't do. And I don't think David Edwards should ever pull again in life. I don't think that should ever happen. That shouldn't happen. And I will vindicate Deion Dawkins. I will vindicate him slightly. The play where he got obliterated by Carter. That was a play where Edwards pulled.
Oh.
Yeah, he pulled on that play, and Carter must have said, yep, that's my gap right there. So he attacked that inside shoulder, got low. That's all she wrote. So it was nice, because what happened was Trubisky had enough wherewithal to get out of there. He did the Josh Allen spin around and get out of there. But yeah, I mean, Deion Dawkins he's not fleet of foot, and he's not really flexible. So that was a recipe for disaster on that. You never want to pull a guard when a premier pass rusher's on top of your tackle.
Yeah, probably not a good.
That's not a good idea. He gonna need some help.
All right, so Hard Knocks. Did you get a chance to watch it? Look at his face. Look at his.
What are we doing here?
Dude, just be careful how you react, bro.
What are we doing here? I told you guys a month ago I was watching none of this ish.
I will give you my sign-in stuff, bro. You gotta watch it.
I have access to it. I'm not watching it.
Key, go watch it, bro.
Nope.
He said I can, but I'm not.
Key, I'll watch it with you, bro.
Well, yeah.
So
Joey, what up?
This gets better and better. So the entire second episode basically revolved around KJ Hamler,
of course,
Sean McDermott in his cancer scare or surgery rather,
and then 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Of course.
Okay.
And then DeMar Hamlin and his journey.
Really?
Yeah.
From 2 years ago.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So these were the storylines that followed the really big first episode where, Josh Allen and the culture and Trey White and this was the next episode of great stories that they needed to get to. Just
a quick cliff note to this. Somebody actually put a poll up on X. Which episode was worse, episode 1 or episode 2?
Which one?
I think they said episode 2 was like 90%.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see how.
I don't see anything.
That's also very true. All right. So listen, before everybody gets bent out of shape about us slamming Hard Knocks.
I can't slam it. I didn't watch it.
Listen. What I think I was looking for and hoping for, and I probably should have known I wasn't going to get it. But what I was looking and hoping for was a focus around all of the things that get us excited about game day for this team. Not the backstories of the players, because realistically, from that perspective, this team is very bland.
We have embedded.
Right. And I think everything that they've shown on embedded, they're just kind of doing the same thing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So with that being the case, I think Hard Knocks is missing the mark. But we can't really say whether that's for sure. We can't say for sure whether that's Hard Knocks missing the mark or the Buffalo Bills saying this is the content that you're going to base your content off of.
I don't even think they're saying that. I think they're smart enough to know when they're filming what. It's almost like a decoy.
Yeah.
Like they're like, Josh, go over there and do this. So they'll watch you and we're going to install something here.
Is that why they've been doing embedded to prepare for this?
I think so.
Because they probably knew it was coming down the pipe sometime.
They started, 2 years ago, something like that? So, he said, Snarl said Big Baller being in the editing room cutting up the film. No, I think, honestly, for everything we say about McDermott, the dude, he's intelligent. He knows what the freak. He's very regimented. He knows what he's doing.
He does.
And I don't put it past him to say, you know what? Okay, they want to see James Cook. They're not going to see James Cook. We're going to put something else over here. KJ, right? Scooter.
Yep.
Dion, do something crazy because they like Dion. Everybody likes Dion. So, it's like while you do that, we're going to install over here. Don't worry about the rookie. We're going to do this here. But, it's like a 3-ring circus.
Yeah.
You have to figure out which one you want because I think they were talking about on the radio maybe Monday how the guys with the cameras like running all over the place like a mad dash all over the whole field because they're trying to catch stuff.
Yeah.
And McDermott knows how to hide and manipulate things so it's not what it seems.
X says soft knocks. Bills are cutting what they want for sure.
Yep. And Joey, you're right. Hard Knocks ain't used to having a winning team on their show. It's probably not going to happen again. Most of the teams suck that are on there. They have new coaches. They have something interesting.
You know what's weird about I don't know if weird is the right word, but what's kind of funny about it is all of these teams that have been bad, that have been on Hard Knocks, those have been the best Hard Knocks because everybody on that team is being real with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't been good. We got to be better. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got work to do. Like there's all of this rhetoric and mentality and action towards understanding what the goal is and doing the work necessary to get there. Meanwhile, you got the Bills that were just in the AFC Championship game and they're, talking about guys riding around on scooters and ice cream shops and you know what I mean? Like it's just a very different thing that I didn't expect to see. And look, it's 2 episodes in. They might get to deeper, more, football oriented stuff, but Hard Knocks goes until what? The start of the season?
Yeah, I think it was 5 episodes or something like that. Tommy said.
Yeah, so they have to get to it in week 3 if they're gonna fit everything else in that's going on with preseason and cuts and all that kind of stuff.
I had a question. I'll put it in the chat. I just want to give you a chance to type it out. You said they're just focused on the wrong guys. Who do they focus on? I mean, like I'm thinking about the team and like there's no personality on the team.
Yeah,
there's no gravitational pull. Like if Mac Hollins would have still been here, that'd have been cool. If you can't squeeze juice out of Trey White, go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna let
I'm right here.
No, you weren't. All we heard was what?
Yeah, right. We heard it from a distance, though.
That's what we're doing.
He pulled the curtain back on us.
He's in there. No, but no. I mean, Jack Star. He said you're right. I mean, like who are we supposed to look at? Snarl said at least our boys aren't an embarrassment. There are no boys unless seem to be an embarrassment.
Yeah, and you're right, Snarl. You're right for sure. But I think we're not asking for there to be excitement from that respect. I think we're asking for excitement from like a Ray Lewis perspective or an Ed Reed perspective, where you got guys on this team that are dominant and vocal and really, drag the best out of their teammates. You know what I'm saying? I think as fans, we want to see the huddle. We want to hear the speeches. We want to see the real behind the scenes stuff, not what we're seeing on Hard Knocks now. These meetings that they're in, they're not talking about anything at all. And I'm not saying that they're supposed to give away state secrets, but there's aspects of game planning and things like that every team does that really doesn't mean much that you can still give us.
You mean when you got to see Josh Allen land into the wide receivers? He was giving them hell, boy. He was giving them hell.
I was so mad when they take, because I watched it. I'm like, are you serious?
I was like,
he yelled at who?
He's like, all right, I see you on the left over. You got to get there, man. You got to get there. Right. Okay, Josh, I need you right here. Man, he was really giving it to him.
Yeah, and Keon knew he was like, he's shaking his head. Yeah,
whatever.
Like, I got it
He's
right.
like, I'm gonna help you out. Embellish this. Yell some.
Yeah.
And, Alton said Keon Coleman, because he's funny. I don't know how funny Keon Coleman really is. Honestly,
No,
I don't know.
Like okay, so this is the thing you got to understand about Keon. What makes Keon funny is how real he is. Like, I really had an opportunity to just sit and listen to him talk and just talk about football with him, right? And what a lot of people are misconstruing as, oh, he's a funny guy, is him just saying what he really thinks and not sugarcoating it in any way.
And that's where I'm at with it. Exactly what you just said. When people say funny, they're thinking about the cookies thing.
Yeah.
Jackets. Like, he's like, that ain't me. I'm not that.
Right.
It just happened to be that.
Right.
And I would like to see TJ Sanders more, because he's another guy that's like, he can't stop saying the S word and like regular stuff. I'm like, this dude don't care. He don't know. He never did an interview. Right. He's like, he said he don't really deal with blue cheese. I said, my boy. And the reason why I said I don't dip, so it don't come at me. But
I don't dip either.
Yeah, I don't have enough time for that. I gotta get right to the main event.
Straight to the bone.
Yeah, right to the main event. So, but the thing is, like, when you're thinking about usually those media bites that they try to give, they're trying to get you endeared and loving a player, loving the rookies, loving the new guy. They always give them blue cheese. They always give them wings. And they always, like Max Harris, say, this real good. Can I dip again? TJ Sanders like, yo, I'm nah. Deion Walker was like, yo, I got to do it again. I'm going to try it one, but this is it. You don't hear that.
Right.
Landon Jackson, like, he was being held hostage. He's like, oh, yeah, I love Buffalo. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Slow down, Spartacus.
Yeah.
Like
Zoomer said robots. Yep. Alton says that's the type of players they should focus on. Yeah.
No, yeah. I'd be good. No, okay, I'd be good. I think when you said funny, I was thinking like KJ Hamler, but you mean real. Mm-hmm. If you mean real, yeah, like I said, Deion Walker, DJ Sanders, Curtis Samuel, not Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman. That's nah. I don't know, really. I don't know. I can't get to the blue cheese. I eat it when I have a chance, but that's when the wings are nasty. If you see me dipping the wings in blue cheese, I mean they're hard, they're dry, something wrong with them.
You need something with them.
Them things is there. I saw somebody dipping garlic parmesan wings in blue cheese. I'm like, what are you doing? This is a specialty wing. What are you doing?
Okay, that's what Nate was talking about. So Zoomer said they should have signed Jameis Winston for Hard Knocks. They cut him after.
No cutting. No.
Bro, he might not make it in New York. He might not make it in New York.
Trubisky, Jameis.
Yeah.
I'd take him.
Look, Nate, I know this is gonna be a shocker, but after what was that video you sent me that
when he was talking about how they need to be conditioned to not just be wanting to get there, but they wanted to dream to be a Super Bowl champion. That video where he was being serious.
Yeah.
He's got a couple. I didn't want to overdo, but actually was a good interview. It was like they could have done a lot of just like that. He didn't really joke. He got serious, and that's a side you don't see at Jameis Winston.
Right, and I think that's what kind of started getting me to like ease up on him. Was like, okay, so he's not just a clown out here just being ridiculous and is pretty good at football.
Hold on.
What?
Snap. You hear all that?
What?
You hear all that?
Hold on. Himself.
You hear all that?
Mm-hmm.
He's giving the credit to famous James.
Okay. All right. That's enough. That's enough. That is enough.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It was funny. He did have. I'm not gonna hijack the show with this, but he had
I will.
No, but he had a part to the end of one of their training camps where, a kid came up to him. He had he's like, "What you got there?" And the kid, he walked. He was like this. He's like, "What you got there? Are you eating W's?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me have some." Okay. And then he signed. It was just me and with the kid after practice. But it's like,
I love that.
Like literally, I do too, because it's, you have guys that are buttholes of people, and you have guys that are clowning.
Yeah.
But this dude is genuine. Like, I've seen him with his family. This is him. And he even explained the whole what was it? The crab legs thing. When he got caught stealing the crab legs. And that was his thing, the college scandal where he got suspended because it. So basically,
Jameis?
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, what happened was, this was before NILs and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how they were, the athletes were broke, and there was a local store where they were giving people stuff,
mm-hmm.
athlete stuff, for shopping there.
Mhm.
And he went in there, and another guy went in there, and he said, "Okay." They got investigated, whatever the case may be, and he said, "You know what? If I do it, then I'm going to get this suspension. But if he does it, he's getting kicked off the team and out of school or something like that." So he took the rap. He said, I've done it. I do it all the time, but because I'm Jameis Winston, nobody said nothing. But when he did it, it was about to be a big thing. So I said, you know what, coach? It was me. And so he took the rap.
Wow.
So that was in that interview too. So maybe I'll send it to you. You can watch if you want or not.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And I really appreciate it. I got you. But yeah, no. I don't want to get off here to see www. What will Winston do?
Steve says, wish I directed one episode with Phil McDermott all day and show how limited he is. Show a game film of Trey, Jackson, and Hamlin. Feature all of Bean's failures and end with how good Cook tips. I mean, look, I think what we all wanted to see as fans is something that instills a level of respect throughout the NFL for who we are in the building, right? Because I think we've garnered respect on the field, but I still think to a degree people are looking at the franchise as, a hard shell on the outside, but a soft center. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard to defend. It's hard to defend when a Super Bowl caliber team is putting out content that looks like this.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I know for a fact that a lot of the players that were watching on Hard Knocks, that's not how they act.
Right.
That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not all they are, or that's not what they really, talk like, or that's not what they really do in real life. So watching this for me is like, who are they recording right now? This is not the real us. These are not the real players that go out and play the games and talk to each other on the sideline and say what they say and do what they do.
Right.
And that's not going to get the kind of respect from the league that I want from my team. Like I want to be a team that people fear playing. And I think right now, for the most part, and I hate saying this, I think people fear playing Josh Allen more than they fear playing the entirety of the Buffalo Bills offense or defense. You know what I'm saying? Like we have players, if used correctly on this team, could be just as good as the Steelers defense if you move pieces around and do different things schematically and be flexible. Right. But because of the mindset of the people that run the team, we're forcing these players. It's like you're trying to, and I think I've given this analogy before. You're trying to squeeze juice out of an orange that has already been juiced.
Right.
These players are coming into the NFL with low ceilings to begin with, and then you're trying to get them to perform like superstars.
Right.
I just don't know how successful you know what I mean? And now here's what I wanted to move into with this, and this is why I'm bringing it up. The other player that was discussed on Hard Knocks is Damar Hamlin, right? And we're at a point now where the way they're talking about Cole Bishop is like we should really just be expecting Damar Hamlin to be the starter to start the season.
Bro, can I touch on the all-22 for this point?
Please do.
Okay. I was infuriated with anybody that watches this. You can check me. Damar Hamlin was constantly putting a single high. He was constantly the single high. What are we doing? Damar Hamlin made plays when he was in the box. Yeah. He made plays when he was that big nickel.
Yep.
That's where he belongs. Guess who was good at it? Cam freaking Lewis was good at the single high. Why? Because he's a cornerback. Even though he played at UB, he's a cornerback. Guess who else was good at it? Jordan Hancock. Why? Because he was a cornerback at a high level. Ohio State, big defense. But instead, you want to keep putting Damar Hamlin back there, and then the fans are like, well, he sucked. Watch the all-22, please. And there was another play where everybody talked about Elijah Moore, but Dorian Strong almost had the play of plays of screw-ups because it was the same deal. Dorian Strong was passing whoever the receiver was off to Hancock, but Hancock was playing middle third. Receiver's wide open by himself. I think at the 28-minute mark. Just watch it. If you got all 28-minute mark, watch the play. He looked back like he was sidestepping, looked back. Hancock was over there, and he just decided, I'm gonna let him go. No, you need to trail, because at this point, you got to make it look like he blew his assignment. Because even if it was you got to be like, yo, what are you doing? And it's like somebody said, or it might have been Tommy last night. The talent you have is the talent you have, but if you don't use it the way you're supposed to use it, what talent do you have?
Right.
You know, it's as simple as that. If you have to put Damar Hamlin back there, where is he effective? That's what you should know. He's been here, 5 years?
Yeah. You should know enough about his game by now to know that that's not his game.
That's not it. And the thing was, I don't know if you remember this, the third down stuff. It was on, I think it was Tracy, I believe. He was blitzing up the B gap. It was a stunt. He hit that thing hard. And he knocked, I think it was Washington. Okay, fine. Since you
heard him.
No. Since you AO in that, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I hit that hole hard.
Pause.
No,
too late.
Too late.
Pause.
So
you
you gonna pause
double up
that?
on the pause.
If I'm trying to censor for you, you can't get me there. So he took out the receiver and he made the play on the running back.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tackle, they say. Yes, he can.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty freaking good. 7% missed tackle rate in his career. 7% for a safety. Somebody that was third on the team in third or fourth last year in tackles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, when you think about the big nickels that we've seen play, Kyle Hamilton is one. I think James Derwin James is another guy that played big nickel and was a playmaker there. He just has to be good in short space like a linebacker, right? And with the speed you're adding into that, that's definitely a player that I would enjoy having as a box safety. To be perfectly honest, and I've said this in our Discord chat for with our members. My hope is that Jordan Hancock becomes the next Micah Hyde type of safety here, not Taron Johnson's replacement.
Right.
I don't see it. Right. And that's what I'm really hoping for. Go draft somebody else next year to come in and replace Taron Johnson, right? Because he's still got 2 years to play. Right. He might go longer than that if you parse out his snaps a little bit more. But for what the potential that I saw in Jordan Hancock and his responsiveness when the ball was in the air, like those are the things that I'm looking for in a coverage safety.
And that's the thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you look at him and you look at what Cam Lewis did, and that's why I brought them up, because they were ex cornerbacks. They're instinctive. They know where the ball is and they know how to get there. They know how to read eyes better than, in tight coverages. Yep. Where now they have all this field and they got help. So I remember I had a friend, Dwayne, and he ended up transitioning from cornerback, which he played in high school and some college, to safety. And he's like, it's a world easier to play safety because I have my cornerback skills, but I can see everything in front of me and I go get the ball. I mean, if I was a guy who was looking for a safety in a single high, I'd be like, you know what? Screw teams. Which one of these cornerbacks on this team can play single high safety? Which one of these my corner guys is not good enough to be in top 4 or 5, but they're good enough in coverage to stay on this team? Put them on safety, because we're talking about Derek Forrest. We're talking about, Taylor Rapp, Cole Bishop, and Damar Hamlin's and Cam Lewis's. Try something else.
Right.
You got to be creative. Sometimes you got to be creative, and that's what they did with Cam Lewis, and that's what they're doing with Hancock, which I give him credit for that. I will give him credit for Hancock. That was a good selection.
Yeah, I agree. I was annoyed with it at first because of how they talked about it and his ability to play corner and safety. And I looked at that, I'm like, I already know they're trying to put him behind Taron Johnson. Right. He's getting up there in years, and then you hear about this, time sensitive plan that they have him on, and I'm just like, oh my God, they're really trying to put him at nickel. Anyway,
yeah, Max Harrison is off crutches, and they said he's walking around, so looks good.
Yeah. So let's see, he was hurt 2 weeks ago, right? So we got another 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah,
nice. That'll be good.
Ingram make the team? No, I think he's practice squad again.
Ingram. Oh, Jamarcus Ingram. No. I think with the young guys they got now, that's going to be very tough.
Yeah, he's practice squad.
Yeah.
You see, he was playing behind at everybody. He was playing behind Corey Couch.
Yeah, and that's surprising. Like Corey Couch has been one of those guys. Whenever you see him on the field, it's like, all right, we know he's not making a team.
Like, ooh, yeah, whatever.
Right. Even with any play that he makes, it's like, ooh, oh yeah, that's 33.
Never that's mind. 33.
No, we've learned already. But I think I do really enjoy the depth at corner this year. Right. And I'm not even really talking about Dane Jackson to be perfectly honest. I'm thinking more about like the young guys that we have, the Daquan Hardy, the Dorian Strong, the Max Hairston, like to me, that's what you need. You need a bunch of young guys in the pipeline, not the Dane Jacksons of the world. And Cam Lewis has been here on the team, but I don't even want to look to him as the future unless he's going to step in when Taron Johnson leaves. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a guy that could easily step in and be your nickel corner right away and be fine.
And the funny thing is, people don't realize how old he actually is. He's been here 7 years.
Yeah. I know he's been here
30.
a while, but
he's pushing 30.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Holy cow. So he's going to be gone too.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, look, Jamarcus, that's probably why they had Jamarcus Ingram coming and playing, dime and getting some snaps at nickel last year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think every position needs to have this approach. And I think the Bills are pretty much there at receiver. Palmer is 26? If I'm not
Jordan? Joshua Palmer? Hold on. I think he's 20, 25, 26.
Yeah, he's 25, 26. Keon is 21 this year. Khalil is 26, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Who else? Elijah Moore is 25. So like we're getting younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you this, because one of the other things, and I don't know if our Eagles fan here is still watching us.
Jack is in the building.
Okay. Yep. Jack is right there. All right. So one of the things that I wanted the Bills to do is to follow the model that the Eagles have of you pay your offense and you draft your defense, right? I think we were saying that from the start because of the fact that Sean McDermott is supposed to be this defensive guru, right? We've seen the Bengals do it. Right. The Bengals, before they started losing a bunch of their players, when they made the Super Bowl, they paid their defense and they drafted their offense. Why? Because Zach Taylor is an offensive mastermind.
Yeah.
And he could get it done with the guys that he had. He did get it. He got him to a Super Bowl and almost won it with a drafted offense and a paid defense. Right. So my thought is, if Sean McDermott is going to solidify himself and really eliminate the questions about his expertise on defense, in the playoffs, right? Because regular season he's been fine. He's been good, right? But postseason decision making, how the scheme lines up against good quarterbacks, that's kind of the echelon that we need to see Sean kind of step into in terms of defensive dominance, right? So do you think that the Bills, based on what we're seeing this past offseason, have kind of started to lean more towards, we're going to draft our defense and pay our offense?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking in my head on defense, we've only, what do we have now? We've drafted everybody in the secondary. The linebackers we drafted. The D-line, Bosa, Hoyt, we didn't draft. But pretty much we drafted. We just got to keep piling it on, And I wanted to touch on Billy. Billy, don't hate me. I don't really see anything in Bosa. I saw okay. This is where open mouth insert foot may apply.
Okay.
Bosa to me was not good, but there was another guy on that field that I don't know what I was watching, but I have to see more. But I got to wait 6 weeks for it. Michael Hoyt was the best defensive player on the field on Saturday.
Really?
He was so dominant, dude. So dominant.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I need more. I do.
So I didn't get, like, I was watching this as I'm like going, walking into the airport and all that kind of stuff. So how did they use him in the game?
Edge. He pretty much backed up Rousseau. And he was
at edge.
At edge.
Wow.
And he was the only one getting pressure every time. I mean, this dude was a man-child. Bull rushes, hand work. I mean, he was going ballistic out there. And I was like, who is this guy? And it was 55. I said, okay. All right. We found out how to use this guy. Don't change anything.
Right.
Don't change a thing.
Just put him at right.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
But see, that right there is why the Bosa move drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, it was funny because and Billy, stay with me. Don't unsubscribe. I promise. I'm gonna bring us back around at some point. Maybe not right now, but it'll be later. I know I roll up. I'm hoping. I was thinking this can't be the Royds. Tell me this ain't the Royds. But Bosa, I saw one move, and I'm like, oh, okay, there it goes. But he's fast. Wait a minute, that's 57, not 97. Epinesa was the best the right edge.
Really?
Epinesa to me was the best right edge, and Hoyt was the best left end. Epinesa, yeah, he's fast. He looked faster when you watch him after Bosa.
Yeah.
Bosa, he tried to pass first. Bosa, like I said in the last show, the first down signature he got, it was on Bosa. He played it wrong. He tried moves, but it wasn't working. And when they switched it up, yeah, you got Epinesa making moves and trying to bend the corner.
Billings is a good left tackle now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Epinesa was out there. He was doing his thing.
Really?
He was doing his thing.
Wow.
If you get a chance, just because you have it. So watch it back. Just watch it back. And I will say Ed Oliver looked pretty good. Unfortunately, he's still being double teamed all the time. I'm like, why? Why is he still being double teamed all the time? And TJ Sanders and Deion Walker are NFL players.
Okay.
That's all I can say right now because they didn't get a lot of run defensive work. Pass rush, we saw the one knocked down by Walker.
Yeah.
TJ Sanders had he had some good hand work, but it didn't really get him there most of the time.
Okay.
He had the double hand swipe that everybody saw. He was in whoever it was a dart maybe right in his grill. But outside of that, he was making moves and it wasn't landing. But that's fine.
Right.
Landon Jackson, everybody's down on Landon. Don't be down on Landon. I want to see him working with the 2s and 3s next week or on Sunday. He needs a lot more time because I think he's the kind of guy that got the jitters. He was all on the ground. He didn't know what he was doing. It looked bad, but I want to see him develop. See, this is what I'm talking about with Bills fans. Don't give up on your rookies because they don't look good on day one. Right. They don't look good on day 2. They don't look good the first half of the season. It's going to come around if you let them work it. Yeah. So this is where we have to see, are we talking out of two sides of our mouths or are we meaning what we say? Because we want all these young talent. We want all this boomer bust. But at the same time, you want to extradite, you want to get somebody when they don't look good right away. We got to give them a chance. When Harrison comes in, he's going to look bad at some point in time. But he might look good too, so you got to do both.
Yeah.
Spin, we're getting to that too. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted to ask you this though. So with Walker and Sanders, and maybe to some degree Landon Jackson when he finally reaches his peak. Yeah, that is a dirty word.
But Lynn, was he not dominant on Saturday? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he's going to do future, but he was dominant Saturday.
Yeah, I'll take it. So I heard earlier in the week that Walker got pushed back a couple of times in the run game, right? And my response to that, or my thought at that point was 6'7" guy, even a 6'5" guy. If your build is slender and you're not used to playing, the run like that consistently, and your technique is not, perfect, it's going to be very easy for a lot of these guards to get up because guards are not coming in 6'6", 6'7",
6'3", and short arms.
Right. So it's going to be easy for them to get under a guy like Walker and get him pushed back. Right. How does that? Let me ask it this way: does that give you concern in the run game going forward the rest of the season? Because right now, it seems as though the only run stuffing defensive tackles we have are Ogunjobi and Daquan Jones at this point.
There's another name that you probably won't know.
Okay.
Zion Logue.
I've heard of him.
Well, that's because I raved about him last year.
Yes, you're right.
But he's
right.
the only one tech on his team outside Daquan Jones. And to your question, yeah, it gives you pause, but we saw this coming. Joe Marino said it. Ed Oliver said it. He's like a bear with ballerina legs. If you're gonna be a one tech, you have to be like whatever. I don't have
Just
time
say
anymore.
it. Just say
you
it.
gotta be thick on the bottom.
Pause.
Yes. Excellent. I wanted that. Yeah, I roll up 93 is Zion Lowe. Yep. And Ren. I knew it was gonna be somebody. So I got you. Palmer is 20. You said he was 26. You said Palmer was 26?
Yeah. 25.
Ren. He's 25 and 327 days old. Are we really doing this? He's a month and a week shy of 26. Why,
Get
Ren?
the damn number right.
He's like, well, how many hours though? Don't worry about that.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I Carter, he has to perfect. If he's going to be excellent, he's got to perfect the rip swim, because he can't let them get their hands on him. That's what he's got to be able to rip and swim. And he's got good handwork, but like you said, at that size, huh?
He's got to go.
Get hands
handwork.
On him?
Whatever.
Handwork. Oh, okay.
So
right.
yeah, of course he's gonna say that.
Yeah.
But wait, no, you can't do it. I've said like eight times already. He's missed them all.
I'm not saying
He's like,
pause. I'm just laughing about it.
No, I'm joking with you, man. But yeah, no, I think that's a good question, because like I said, when we drafted him, we didn't draft a one tech.
Yeah.
You didn't draft anybody that can defend the run. TJ Sanders can't defend the run.
Right.
Well, of course he can try, but he'll
do as good a job as Ed Oliver will.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's not his thing. And that's fine, because you didn't draft him for that. That's why I wanted CJ West or Yaya Black or one of those guys to pair with TJ. I'd have been fine with TJ Sanders, but you got to get that one tech next to him. So if Zion Lowe makes this team, that tells you a lot about the construct.
Well, that has to be tough though, because if you're looking at, well, I have the Bills depth chart here. I just want to see where they have Hoyt at, because last I checked, he was listed as a defensive tackle, and if that stands to be the case when it comes cut time, you're probably talking about keeping 7 defensive tackles, bro. Like, I mean, like this is getting kind of crazy thinking about what the cut process is going to look like for this team. At defensive tackle, they have Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, Larry Ogunjobi, Dwayne Carter. We haven't even really touched on Dwayne Carter.
Oh, I'm about to.
Zion Lowe, and then you can get to the guys that you're like, all right, we know they're not going to make the team, and Casey Rogers and Marcus Harris. But if Zion Lowe is our only other one tech aside from Daquan Jones, and you really want to have a guy behind Daquan Jones where if he can't go, you're like, all right, Zion, you're in. That's going to be tough, because you're paying Ogunjobi $10 million, right? And you're not going to let your second round pick walk in TJ Sanders. You're not going to cut your 4th round pick in Deion Walker. Somebody will scoop him up in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
you can't practice squad that guy.
No.
Dwayne Carter, that's your 3rd round pick from a year ago.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 7 defensive tackles.
Yeah. And Michael Hoyt played 22 snaps, 4 at left end and 18 at left outside linebacker.
Okay. They got him listed as a defensive end behind Rousseau right now.
That's where he played. Yeah. Right behind Rousseau.
Okay. And they got Landon Jackson 3rd string.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Behind Hoyt. So
that makes sense.
Okay. And then they got Epinesa behind Bosa, and then they got Solomon 3rd behind Epinesa. But I mean, even with that scenario, again, you're gonna have to keep so many defensive linemen on this roster. Like okay, can you put Javon Solomon on the practice squad and get away with it?
From what I saw on Saturday, I don't even care.
Okay,
for what I saw on Saturday, I don't even care.
Not great.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, then he'll probably end up getting cut. So you're not going to put Landon Jackson there. You're not going to put Michael Hoyt there. AJ Epinesa, definitely not going to go there. Okay. So then realistically, you're talking about keeping 5 defensive ends and 7 defensive tackles. That's 12 defensive linemen, right? But then defensively, you're still looking at how many linebackers? You got And I'll just go with the guys behind the starters.
Three, even maybe top 4 with Andreessen.
Yeah, so Andreessen, Williams, Matt Milano, and Terrell Bernard, they're gonna make the team, right? So you're looking at Shaq Thompson and Ulafosio. What did you think of Ulafosio?
I don't think he can be practice squad.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. Thank you. To a side, I appreciate you.
Oh, wow. Appreciate that, bro.
I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, you go tell the masses because some people would not agree with you. No, I'm joking.
Bring your friends.
Right. Bring them over because whatever. But no, I appreciate that to a side. Come back anytime.
Yep.
So Ulafosio, no. Keontae Jenkins is actually better than Ulafosio. He was actually
really.
Keontae Jenkins was a leading tackler. He was all over the place. I was like, is this guy? I don't know enough about him to know if he was a safety or what.
Okay.
But
we'll do some work on him for Monday's episode.
For sure. I'll do that tonight.
Oh, bet.
I can't wait.
And then Jimmy Charlo.
Oh. Oh, Jimmy Charlo.
Looks like there's a party starting in here somewhere.
There's a party starting. Nobody's invited. But no, you know what, Charlo, I don't think he's gonna make it, but he's definitely gonna be in the Bills somewhere unless somebody else picks him up. He's gonna be picked up if he's not on the Bills roster.
Really?
Yeah. He showed enough on teams. He showed enough as a linebacker. He's kind of like the small version of Dorian Williams. If you think about
he did look a little bit more slender than Williams.
He's a hitter.
Yeah. You know what year he's in?
He was actually drafted, I think, 2 years ago.
Okay.
He was on the Jets practice squad last year. He got hurt. They released him injury settlement. Then he got picked up by the Giants, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, so he came here and what I missed?
Can they block though?
I don't know. I don't know. Who are they blocking themselves?
Damn it, they can't block. We gotta cut him.
He's on defense. He can't figure this out.
Defensive tackle, baby. I don't give up. I don't give a. They can't block. Get them off the damn team. Yeah. So, all right. Well, okay. So Charlo. I mean, so you don't think he can roll on the practice squad?
I think they would try to stash him there. I know they're not going to get rid of him. Just let him go.
Yeah.
But he's going to make a case. Let's see what he does on Sunday. But he's going to make a case.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if that's the case, Shaq Thompson. I'm sorry. What did you think of Shaq Thompson?
Did he even play? I'm trying to think. I don't even.
No, he might have been hurt.
I don't think he played.
He got hurt right before the game. I don't think he played. Okay. So injuries aside, you're looking at 5 linebackers that you're keeping, 12 defensive linemen. It just keeps sounding more and more ridiculous the more you say it, right? Like how many we've kept. I think the most defensive linemen we've kept the last few years has been 6?
No, it was defensive line. It's been more like 9 or 10, but
oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, defensive tackles.
Tackles. Maybe 6, maybe 5 or 6.
So, all right. I mean, 7 might not be too much of a stretch, but that's a lot. That's a lot. And then what makes that a little more tenuous to me is you've got so many young corners that need these regular season reps, that need these live bullets to really get a feel for the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're going to need Dorian Strong at some point. You're going to need Daquan Hardy to develop at some point. You're going to need who else do we have? Where's the other corners on here? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, look, for as much as Brandon Codrington needs development, where's he going to get it?
Not here. Not here.
You don't like him?
No.
Okay.
Not here. Because you think about it, he's going to be kept for special teams, and you already got Laviska Shenault. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, like as a corner.
That's what I'm saying. Not here. He's so far down on the depth chart in the corner. It's not here because you got to think Couch is there. You got to think Dorian Strong, who they just invested in, is there.
Mm-hmm.
Trey White is there.
Well, Couch should be a safety though. I don't know why they did the whole nickel thing. To me, that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Couch should have been a safety a long time ago.
Miami corners. I mean, he was somebody that I was interested. I mean, with I asked Tommy if anybody remembers what happened to Kenny Lovely, or whatever.
Oh yeah, where did he go?
I have no idea.
I think they practice squatted him, but he got snatched up.
He disintegrated. He just disintegrated. He's gone.
Just faded into the background.
Yeah, oblivion. He's not even anymore. He never even existed.
Yeah.
So no, I think to go back to your defensive line point, because somebody asked about Carter. I like Carter.
Yeah.
As a person, I would love to talk to Carter. I would love to say we got time for Carter. But the defensive tackle room, as you just listed out, is way too saturated.
Yeah.
And Carter at one tech, I wrote my notes. Can we put that in a box and shoot that bitch to the moon? That's what I put my note. Can we shoot this to the moon?
It's not gonna happen, people. I'm sorry. There's no way. Look, again, this mentality that Sean McDermott has of attitude over ability sounds great. But it's not realistic. It's really not. And I think what's funny about this is the first year that he's really come out and been very concise about that thought process that he has, right? And the contradiction that takes place at the same time, which makes this funny, is they went into the draft saying to us, we need blue chippers. Well, what the hell does blue chippers mean? We need talent.
Yeah.
We need playmakers. We need guys that are big dogs that can make big time plays in big time games. Well, that flies directly in the face of attitude over ability.
Right. Oh, in that case, you'll like it here. I just read that. You'll like it here then.
Yeah, you're gonna love it here, bro. This is home for you.
Yeah, it is. You're on the right spot.
That's how we get down, man. I can't tell, and I've said this before. This channel could have been as big as Dan Mitchell's page is, and as big as some of these other networks and stuff like that. But we're not trying to latch. Let me be respectful. Now, screw it. We're not trying to latch on to the teat of the Buffalo Bills and milk them for a fan base that we can have follow us and get their information from us. We're here trying to hold the team accountable because that's what you do with people you pay. Like, that's the reality of it. Our money pays the salaries and the income of everybody in that building.
Right.
They're not making money without us. So if that's the case, the same way we bark at a police officer for giving us a ticket and not trying to get rid of the crime that's around the block, we can bark at the team for doing the same thing. We can get mad when they make a mistake. They're making these mistakes with our money. Steve just pointed it out earlier in the chat. All the money that they've been spending on these draft picks and signees. Ogunjobi is going to be a $10 million guy. How often is he going to play this season?
Yep. And Cato, Dan Mitchell ain't big, but he's way bigger than us. So if you know how to get all his people over here, do it.
Please help us politic that one.
Yeah, because I can't say somebody ain't big when we doing the best we can.
Right. Sweat says, so we're not drinking trust the processed juice?
Ooh, maybe some gin and juice, but not that.
All right. We got about 10 minutes. Well, actually, we got like 5 minutes left. So I wanted to ask you this. And I want everybody in the chat to, give us your thoughts and your comments too. Who do you think is going to stand out the most this week in Chicago?
Stand out this week the most. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. Like I know who I'm going to be looking at. And I'm going to be looking at those defensive tackles. Actually, I'm going to be looking at Landon Jackson. He's the one I'm going to be watching intently to see if he got any better, if he learned anything. Because I guess, the
quarterback.
Oh, Trubisky.
Hey, yeah, that battle's it's been pretty good. I mean, from what we've been hearing about, from camp and then the preseason game, that battle's been pretty good.
Nah, they said today. They said one of them was horrible today.
Oh, really?
Oh, they said Mike White was horrible.
Oh, well, yeah. But, I mean, again, if you watch Hard Knocks, they're talking about how great of an arm he has.
I'm talking about that inter-squad practice they had today.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, okay.
I get that.
Okay.
But again, I'm trying to match hearing that today with the episode we watched on Tuesday and how they talk about how great he is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my man. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, come on back, man. Come on back.
So I mean, I think this is one of the things that we should be collectively taking with a grain of salt. These types of things are like what the preseason pledge is really for, because you're going to hear a player struggle one day and be great the next. You're going to hear reports about a competition being heavily in the favor of one guy over the other. And then all of a sudden, this guy you thought was doing so great ends up getting cut, Tyrell Shavers. Like, to me, that's the part where I've learned my lesson already. Right. You know what I'm saying? If Mike White doesn't win, okay. I think we know what Mr. Trubisky is. He's a guy that we don't want to play more than maybe a game or two.
Right.
But I don't think Mike White is that much better either with respect to what this team needs as far as a playmaking quarterback. Like, to be perfectly honest, I don't think this team could really function all that well in a real game against real competition. Like, we can't go into that Eagles game with Mr. Trubisky or Mike White passing efficiently from the pocket, and never running for any yardage or trying to make a play that way. Like, if you just tried to have a pocket quarterback on this team, it's not gonna go. Right. It's just not gonna go. You need a guy like Josh who's elite to bring the floor of everybody else up 10 notches, and then we have what we have on offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I was just thinking when you said, see, I'm a defensive minded dude. I love defense. Offense, I'm like, because I'm watching it and I'm trying to learn offensive line stuff. I'm trying to learn, the nuances. Oh, that's one thing. I don't care what anybody says about how vanilla offenses and defenses are in the second, third, and preseason. Mm-hmm. They got to do some serious work on those route combinations. Because they're always too close to each other. They're not spread out, and everything is a bunch. Everything is a bunch. Like why are we running everything a bunch? It's like, okay, you had Elijah Moore starting, but you had the crossers, but they were like in the same area against the zones. Like, you got to spread this out, and that's part of the problem. If you got too many guys in the area, you got one guy covering two, you're never going to win that battle. And so I noticed that stuck out to me when it came to the all-22 footage I saw. But really watching defense, I think to answer your question correctly, it would be to watch to watch what the interior line does to build on what they did on Saturday, and watch Landon Jackson kind of come into his own and see what that actually is. Outside of that, I'm looking at the safeties. Is Rapp and Hamlin Rapp and Bishop going to play? Don't know, so we can't say anything about them. Trey White, we know who that is. Benford, we know who that is. Yep. It looks like he's adding to his toolkit. He's getting in run support now. I love to see that. Monday and Fridays, I roll up. Monday and Fridays.
He says sometimes Friday. Yeah, that was for the summer. So during the regular season, it is Mondays and Fridays. For the time being, 5:30 to 7:30.
For people that don't know, the reason why we move around a lot is because I work 2 jobs, so I have to get out of here and get to my second job after this. So, when I have to work late on my first job, we got to kind of maneuver in when we can in order to get you guys 2 shows a week still. So that's why it's been all over the place. So, that's just an explanation for people that haven't been there for a while.
We usually need time to reconstruct the studio when Keyshawn leaves too, because there's like a trail of fire.
I'll be out of here.
We got to put that out. We got to get new carpeting in here every Friday. And
speaking of new carpeting, T took my truck with Ken, his best friend, and his best friend's little siblings. She must have let him eat in my car. Dude, I just found more in there.
Oh, bro.
My third row, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I feel bad for you, bro.
He goes in there and sees a crumb. What is this?
Yo, Ken was like, this is Ken. He was like, what was this? Was it Tuesday? Yesterday? No, it had to be Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it had to be because I was here Monday. And Ken, he's like, Dad, you ready to go get your coffee? I said, yeah. He's like, before we go, I got to tell you, I'm sorry to tell you this, Dad. I wasn't eating in the car.
Oh, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. But we got to go to Delta Sonic. That's what he said. We got to get to Delta Sonic, Dad.
You get the Sonic money?
And then he's like, well, I got the thing. So he's like, and somebody put their hand on the window. It wasn't me. I told him don't touch the windows. But somebody put their hand on the window, Dad.
Oh, God.
And that's one thing they know. Yeah. Hey, Josh, you lazy bum. What are you? Hey, job, you unemployed boy. But no, so I looked in there just a minute ago when I came here. I said, wait, The back seat has crumbs on it too. Oh my God. Somebody's eating Cheetos.
Oh, the third row you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, Ken said him and his friend were in the third row, so y'all two busted. The other two, one's like 4, so I can't really say much about him. But I had to drive.
And you can't even say nothing to T about that.
I did.
Oh my God.
I did. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
care.
that she scares me, bro. I'm sorry. I would not. She would bully me all day long if we was back in school, bro. Like, there's no way I'm saying anything to her.
No, Jack. I'm wait. You talking to me? Because I'm not letting it go. You don't understand. When Ken was an infant, that's my son, Jack. When he was an infant, he wasn't allowed to eat in my car. When he was like 2, he wasn't allowed to drink anything but water in my car. So I let her drive my car, and they got stuff. I'm just not gonna look back there for the rest of the night.
You and this will probably make you squirm in your seat. But my what? What are you talking about?
What?
So my daughter, she went through this phase where she liked to customize her surroundings. So you know, at any point in time, there would be a sticker on the window that was very hard to get off after the sun hit it for a full day. There would be some silly putty in the little door handle area. Maybe some melted candy or a melted crayon. Crayon, marks all over the back seat. Look at him. Look at
I'm gonna keep it on.
Did you die a little bit inside listening?
I'm gonna keep it on while you talking. Just get his whole reaction.
I'll say this though. It helped me to get to a point where I wasn't so possessive over the car. I was just like, F it. It is what it is. I have children. I'll get another car. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's all I got.
I know.
I can't afford clothes behind these two. I can't afford anything but food in my truck. I take pride in my truck. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh my God.
But the only thing that you can customize my car with and christen it with, and I won't get mad. That mad?
That mad. I'm glad you're honest. A lot more honest than Hard Knocks is.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, Reed's tea is the best tea on the market right now.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
100%.
You know why, folks? Let me tell you. Because it's 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, and 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect. 1 is only 4 ingredients. The chuckle comes extra. No matter fee. I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, head on to Reed's. Get yourself a supply by the case individual. Why would you do that? Get yourself the case. You won't be disappointed. But what do I know? See for yourself. Reed's Tea. Click the link in the description below and let them know PPP sent you. He is losing his mind there.
For sure.
And I'm around for it. This is hilarious.
He's done. All right. Weird warbling thing that happens whenever I start trying to talk. All right, so if you're hearing the music, that means it's time for us to jump out the window. Unfortunately, Keys has got to speed off to work, so I just want to direct your attention to the description of this video on YouTube, and there should be a description everywhere, pretty much. But most of what we house link-wise is on YouTube. So you want to get a hold of our merch page, or if you want to, do something free to support the channel, you can go ahead and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. But also at the same time, if you could give us a like, we'd appreciate that. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, we will be back with everybody Monday at 5:30. We will be going over everything that we saw, liked, disliked, hated, loved, from this preseason game happening tomorrow. The game is at what time tomorrow?
No, Sunday.
Sunday. Oh my God. Why did I think it was Saturday?
Because it's supposed to be. It's always been Saturday. I don't know if we've ever had a Sunday preseason.
Yeah, that's weird. And it's going to be a later one too, isn't it? Yeah,
yep.
It's a Sunday at 8, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So definitely we will have that all for you on Monday. Definitely make sure you tune in. My oldest son, Junie, our producer, has his own podcast. He does a basketball podcast.
No, he just giggles all day.
He's also got a gaming channel on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
I gotta get out of here because he's gotta get out of here. So
You along today, bro.
make sure, I'm about to mute you in a heartbeat. Make sure that you go to our the description of this video for all the links. Ree's Tea, the link is in there for that. They will ship it right to you. I just found out this week, big news. Here you go. Ree's Tea is officially now in Delta Sonic stores. That is going to be happening within the next few weeks. So definitely make sure you get into that. You're going to start seeing marketing stuff from Delta Sonic for Ree's Tea. We are also going to be in 70 top stores in the area. So on your way to the game, if you want to hit that Tops right there on Big Tree, or if you want to hit that Delta Sonic over there at 5 Points, make sure you get there, get your Ree's Tea, take it with you to the game, spike it up, and drink it all down, okay? No pause. You muted, so no pause. So with that being said, thank you to everybody. You put the camera on him. Let me see if I can get me back. Bam. Okay. With that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And this is 40 Keys. Hit that bell, made that thing ring like a lane.
Yes, sir. I've been forgetting to say that.
It's all right, though.
Producer, where you at? All right. Go ahead.
Hey, producer in the building.
Yeah, hold it up high. There you go. All right. Y'all have a great night. Peace.